The time for early voting is ending soon. How the numbers look and what it means coming up.
And hear from the rabbi of the Pennsylvania synagogue. He explains what the shooting was like and what's to come.
Really nice fall-like day out there for us today. More nice weather in store, but some rain possible for Halloween. We'll break it all down in the full forecast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Brenton Roy.
And I'm Emma Burris.
Indiana residents only have 1 week left to early vote for the midterm election.
And thousands of Delaware County voters have taken advantage of the opportunity to vote ahead of the election day next Tuesday. NewsLink Indiana's Michelle Kaufman is live to explain the significance of this election for Indiana. Michelle?
Brenton and Emma, I am here at the Delaware County building where so far hundreds of people have come here to vote ahead of next week's election. And as one Ball State professor told me, the effect of who wins the state races could have a major impact on who wins locally right here in Delaware County. Delaware County has already passed the amount of early voters it saw in 2014, and County Clerk Mike King says they may beat 2010 numbers as well.
I think there's a lot more interest in this election. I don't know whether it's the temperament from the national level or just more interest now because of a lot more younger people becoming involved. We had a lot of Ball State students that got registered to vote this year, so I think that might be driving some of it too.
For early voters, King requests patience and recommends voting early in person instead of absentee.
The county building would probably be your fastest route, especially the way that a lot of the clerks have been seeing some struggles with the postal service getting the ballots to people. There's been a delay, and whether that's a processing issue, all of our mail from Muncie goes down to Indianapolis and then has to come back. So a lot of people are impatient waiting on that mail out. So if you really want to vote absentee, come up to the county building.
Several congressional races are part of the midterm election.
That's what the midterm is all about, is who's going to have, a lot of legislative control and what that means for the president and for the states.
The Senate race between Joe Donnelly, Mike Braun, and Lucy Brenton could also affect elections locally.
We're going to have local elections here in Delaware County and across the state, and so a big part of it will be, what happens with those down ticket races as well. So they're frequently forgot about and not talked about, but it's another important part of it. And again, Democrats, if they can have the blue wave, and if it's big enough, it can float many of their other candidates down the ticket. So that's so there's a lot riding on the midterm elections.
Now, if you are wanting to come here and vote early, the office will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow through Saturday, and back open at 8:30 a.m. until noon on Monday. Now, if you are coming here to vote, you do need a state-issued ID in order to vote, but if you're a Ball State student, you can actually use your student ID as your form of identification. Live from the Delaware County building, Michelle Kaufman, NewsLink, Indiana.
Michelle Kaufman, thank you. To find out where your polling place is on Election Day, you can visit indianavoters.in.gov.
The Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles is extending its hours next week during the general election. The branches will be open longer to issue ID cards and driver's licenses for identification at polling places. The BMV will be open next Monday from 8:30 in the morning to 8 in the evening, and from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening on Tuesday. Branches will only process new, amended, or replacement ID cards and driver's licenses on those days.
Bowling alleys and malls, two things that wouldn't normally go together, but because of a local artist, they do. Heather Van Winkle is an artist in residence with Ply Space. She created her own bowling alley in an empty store of the Muncie Mall. The difference with her lane is it's made of soft wood with no oil, so the ball impacts the wood and creates divots and throws, so it becomes unpredictable where the ball may go. Also, the pins are made out of candles, and the ball is small. Van Winkle is excited that being at the mall goes well with the American aspect of bowling.
I think it's exciting to have this opportunity to be at a mall. I also think conceptually the mall, along with this American America idea, is kind of a nice compliment.
The bowling alley is free at the Muncie Mall until November 4th. Go to Ply Space's Facebook page for more information.
A Howard County woman is facing charges after allegedly leaving a racist note on her neighbor's home. Deborah Cantwell faces intimidation and criminal mischief charges. Police say a man reported finding a racist letter attached to his home. The note allegedly had threats and racial slurs targeting the neighbor's son. Police say Cantwell acknowledged writing the letter and leaving it on the home. Cantwell's initial hearing is set for November 19th.
A Muncie museum hosted a Halloween costume event over the weekend. NewsLink Indiana's Jeremy Masukovich got a chance to cover the local event.
The Academy of Model Aeronautics hosts a number of events throughout the year that allow for the Muncie community to learn about aviation in new ways. On Saturday, the AMA hosted the 3rd annual Fright School event. Museum educator Claire Alden-Hewson saw a lack of indoor Halloween events and seized the opportunity to combine Halloween fun with high-flying exhibits.
You know, a lot of Halloween events, they're outdoor festivals or trick-or-treating, and you might not always be able to do that because of our weather here being so unpredictable. So here, it's completely indoors. Kids can have a good time. They can wear their costumes without layering up. You know, you always hated that as a kid. You have to put a big coat over your great costume, and that's no fun, right?
The Fright School event allowed free entry for children in costumes and featured a number of Halloween-themed crafts and games. Media producer for the museum, Grace Wininger, spoke of the importance of attracting a younger audience to AMA events.
And I think it's a really beautiful thing that they brought it to such a small community. So it's been really fun to get lots of young kids in here and see their eyes light up when they see all this huge collection that we have. So I feel like we're really impacting a young generation here in Muncie. So
the AMA will be launching another holiday-themed event coming up in December, partnered with the YWCA of Muncie. In Muncie, Jeremy Masukovich, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information about the upcoming events, you can search National Model Aviation Museum on Facebook. So Emma, today I walked out of my apartment and it was freezing, right? And it actually warmed up. I had to take off my big coat.
Yeah, it was nice to leave jackets at home for a couple hours. Joe Struce, what do you have coming for the weather for us?
Hey, good evening, guys. Yeah, a little chilly to start today. Temperatures did warm up rather nicely. We'll see another beautiful day tomorrow. Tonight, temperatures backing down into the low 40s, 43 right now. Winds are calm, though. That's a little difference from what we saw yesterday. We had wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. Another thing we're watching here at NewsLink is we haven't seen a lot of rainfall in the month of October. Only 1.61 inches of rain here in Muncie throughout the last 29 days. That is about an inch below average. We still have 2 days left in the month, though, and there is rain in the forecast. We may be able to get closer to the average mark because, again, it has been rather dry throughout the month of October thus far. Not going to see much in terms of rain tomorrow, but 80% chance of rain on Wednesday for Halloween. I will break that down as well as give you the extended outlook coming up in just a few minutes.
Police have arrested the gunman responsible for a shooting at a North Carolina high school today. The shooting broke out in a hallway at Butler High School in Matthews. Police say Jatwan Craig, a freshman at the high school, is being charged with first-degree murder. They say he fatally shot a fellow student during a fight. According to the school superintendent, the conflict began as an instance of bullying before leading to the deadly shooting.
A man charged for selling heroin challenging the ruling. Coming up, we'll tell you why.
And what update could be coming to the heart of Indianapolis? That and more after the break.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, she seems fine to me.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was drunk.
No more, he was drunk.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, why didn't she tell anyone?
No more, we don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Welcome back to NewsLink, Indiana. The man accused of committing the worst massacre of the Jewish community in the U.S. was in court today. He faces 29 federal charges, and prosecutors will seek the death penalty. Omar Jimenez has more from Pittsburgh.
My office charged Robert Bowers with federal murder and assault charges relative to the horrific acts of violence he committed at the Tree of Life Synagogue.
Handcuffed and in a wheelchair, the man accused of gunning down members of a synagogue made his first court appearance in Pittsburgh Monday. The alleged gunman, Robert Bowers, was injured in a firefight with police at the Tree of Life Synagogue Saturday and was released from the hospital shortly before appearing in court. The suspect faces 29 federal charges in the shooting death of 11 people. He was initially represented by public defenders.
And we will have the opportunity to present evidence demonstrating that Robert Bowers murdered 11 people who were exercising their religious beliefs, and that he shot or injured 6 others, including 4 of whom were police officers responding to the shooting.
One of the rabbis leading his congregation at the synagogue Saturday morning told CNN about the moment he realized he heard gunfire and how he tried to save as many of his members as he could.
Quickly tried to usher them up to the front, out some doors in the front, towards exits or towards a closet, someplace that they could hide, someplace safe.
Despite the hateful act, he insists the synagogue will reopen, stronger than ever.
Tree of Life has been in Pittsburgh for 154 years. We're not going anywhere. I will not let hate close down my building.
Again, that was Omar Jimenez reporting. We'll continue to keep you updated as the story develops.
7 people are recovering tonight after being shot at a Southern California nightclub. The shooting was reported early Monday morning in Riverside. Officers found 2 victims with gunshot wounds in the nightclub. Those victims were taken to the hospital for treatment. 5 other victims later arrived at local hospitals for treatment of their wounds. Police say none of the victims' injuries are life-threatening. The Riverside Police Department's robbery, homicide, and gang intelligence units are currently handling the investigation. A man who pleaded guilty to selling heroin is challenging the state's civil forfeiture process. This comes after the government seized his vehicle worth more than the maximum fine for his crime. The former heroin addict pleaded guilty in 2013 to selling $260 worth of heroin. The government then seized his $42,000 Land Rover in a process known as civil asset forfeiture. This process allows police to seize and keep property allegedly used in a crime. Indiana law says the maximum fine for his crime is $10,000.
Business leaders in downtown Indianapolis are urging for an upgrade to Monument Circle, according to the Indianapolis Business Journal. Bricks surrounding the Soldiers and Sailors Monument are showing their age. This could lead to safety risks if something isn't done in the near future. Downtown leaders are also concerned with a lack of coordinated event planning. The Department of Public Works says that the agency is still designing a Monument Circle renewal project.
Hey Joe, what do you have coming up for us in weather?
It's going to be a cool night out there, but a clear night. But there will be rain in the forecast. I'll break that down and take a look at your Halloween forecast after the break. Stay tuned.
For those who serve today and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back.
So, Joe, I hear that there's some rumors in the forecast that we might be getting a little bit of rain towards the end of the month.
Yeah, we may still see some rain before October comes to a close. But first, not a bad day out there today. We saw temperatures warm up into the mid-50s. We'll see them warm all the way up into the mid-60s tomorrow. More on that in just a few minutes. Let's get you outside right now across the state. Temperatures in the low 50s in Indianapolis, actually 51, but in the low to mid-40s across the rest of the state. 41 degrees in Kokomo, 44 in Lafayette, 44 as well in Terre Haute and Bloomington. So grab the jacket if you're heading out anywhere across the state tonight. It will be cool. We'll drop all the way down to 40 degrees. It will be mostly clear. Notice the winds out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. They will shift tomorrow, bringing a different type of story to east central Indiana. A warmer story. Winds shift. They'll be from the south. We'll see temperatures warm all the way up into the mid-60s, 66 degrees tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies. I think we see sunshine through much of the day tomorrow. Later in the afternoon, more towards your dinner plans, we'll see some clouds build ahead of our next weather maker, which rolls in here for Wednesday. The winds will be a bit of a story towards the end of the day tomorrow. This is 12 o'clock. We'll see some stronger wind gusts across the state, but I don't think the winds really ramp up until later in the afternoon. We could see wind gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour tomorrow evening, late tomorrow evening. This is 9 o'clock tomorrow night, before a cold front pushes through on the day on Wednesday. Here's a look at your rain chances. So again, I think we're dry tomorrow, but then we will see rain in the forecast. 80% chance of rain Wednesday, 60% chance of rain Thursday, and then some chances for rain into the weekend. I don't think we'll see a complete washout except for early in the day on Wednesday. Much of the next 5 days will be dry. We just do have potential for rain. Let's take a look here on Precision Cast at Wednesday. This is Halloween in the morning, 5 a.m. Heavy pockets of showers pushing through east central Indiana. Grab the umbrella if you're heading out early, especially for your morning commute, because I think we will still see showers around through the first half of the day. Now, by your lunch plans, we're going to start to see some breaks in the shower activity, but I think we do still see some showers around until at least the middle afternoon. The good news is, for those of you that are looking forward to trick-or-treating on Wednesday, yeah, it looks like we might be a bit drier out there. Some spotty showers. The bigger story will be that temperatures are going to back off a bit behind the cold front, so maybe grab an extra layer with your costume. Here's your official Scarecast, your trick-or-treating forecast. Temperatures into the mid-50s. Again, rain early. I do think we'll see a spotty shower around Wednesday afternoon. And we have a Ball State football game to talk about. Wednesday evening at Toledo. Temperatures 54 degrees at kickoff. Winds out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Shouldn't be a bad night for them over in Toledo. It's pretty similar conditions to what we'll expect here. We'll want to make sure we cheer on the Cardinals after we get back from trick-or-treating Wednesday evening. Here's your 7-day forecast. To sum it all up, it looks soggy, and it looks very much more fall-like after the next few days. Tomorrow, again, a beautiful day, 66 degrees and warm. Halloween, we will be dealing with rain again much of the day, but I think it does clear out by your trick-or-treating plans. 50 degrees here by Thursday, 49 degrees here for Friday. Again, some rain chances moving into the later half of the day Thursday, lasting into the early part of your Friday. Saturday looks dry, 52 degrees, before we deal with more rain possibly in the forecast later in the day on Sunday, and then yet more rain in the forecast to kick off next week. So really get out and enjoy tomorrow. 66 degrees, it's one more shot of warmer weather. We haven't seen temperatures in the 60s since last week. Monday was the last time we saw temperatures in the 60s. So enjoy the warmer weather and stay dry the rest of the week.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Joe.
So, Rachel, there was a big weekend in sports. What can we expect coming up?
Definitely. Well, we'll take a look at a Ball State women's soccer team as well as 3 Ball State athletes who have won some awards. All coming up after the break.
Isn't this perfect?
It was my pleasure. May I?
Adam, I can't thank you enough for saving me from that sweepstakes scam. I could have lost everything.
It was a classic cat and mouse game. Remember, you never have to pay to play.
You're my hero.
Oh.
After all these years. What's the matter, Adam? Cat got your tongue?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Rachel Berry with sports. Ball State women's soccer's 6-game win streak and season was on the line in their opening game of the MAC tournament. NewsLink Indiana's Ben Shuren was there to catch the action and result against MAC opponent Buffalo.
It was win or go home on Sunday for Ball State women's soccer in their quarterfinal match against Buffalo. The Cardinals and Bulls traded set-piece goals to send the game into overtime tied at 1. In the end, it was Paula Guerrero's free kick that sealed the victory for Ball State.
When the referee called out the foul, I was like, that's my spot. I've been practicing right there in practices, so I just felt confidence to step up and take the shot. I was just trying to hit a really driven shot, and it just went in.
The wind was the X factor in the game for both teams. With sustained winds over 30 miles an hour, all 3 goals were scored going with the wind.
It's still very windy and definitely affected the outcome of the game in regards to what was going to happen with the tail of the 2 halves. And I think obviously we found it hard the second half with going against the wind, and Buffalo utilised it. And then it was just a case of when we got into overtime period of getting our opportunity to do the same thing when you have that wind advantage.
We knew that the wind was going to be one of the conditions. In the first part of the overtime, we knew we were just trying to get away with the balls because they were sending long balls all the time, and we just tried to keep the ball on the ground.
Ball State moves on to the MAC tournament semifinals this Friday, taking on Western Michigan in Bowling Green, Ohio. In Muncie, Ben Shuren, NewsLink Indiana.
With a win on Friday, Ball State would play for the MAC championship on Sunday. After sweeping 6 sets this weekend, 3 Cardinals swept 3 MAC West awards as well. For the second time this month, 3 Ball State volleyball players claimed the MAC West Offensive, Defensive, and Setter of the Week honors. Junior setter Amber Seaman earned her 5th Setter of the Week. Senior outside Ellie Dunn claimed her 3rd Offensive Player of the Week, as well as scoring her 1,000th kill. Junior libero Kate Avila picked up her 2nd Defensive Player of the Week. All claimed awards this week after sweeping both Northern Illinois and Western Michigan last weekend. The teams improved to 19-6 this season. The Cardinals are back on the road this week, playing Central Michigan Friday and Eastern Michigan on Saturday. And the Red Sox are World Series champions, and they did it in dominating fashion. Boston won their 4th World Series since 2004 in 5 games against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
From the top on down, here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
The Red Sox entered the season as a heavy favorite and proved themselves as they captured their 9th World Championship in franchise history. But believe it or not, ESPN released their power rankings today for the 2019 season, and the Red Sox aren't even in the top 3.
You know, that was a devastating loss. We are a LA Dodgers house where I'm from.
Yeah, and I'm a Cardinals fan, so but congrats to them.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yes.
Coming up next on Trending, a school bus is swept away in a harsh flood waters.
And Fox's Rent Live has announced its official cast up next on NewsLink Indiana.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back. Time now to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Katie McDonald. What do you have for us?
Hi, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. So a school bus driver who ignored warnings and drove into floodwaters in Texas has been arrested. A video out of Texas shows a school bus caught in swift-moving floodwaters. A school bus driver failed to heed warning signs and drove into harsh floodwaters while children were on board. The dash cam video captured the driver approaching the flooded area in Leander, Texas in mid-October. Thankfully, no one was injured, and police say only one student and the driver needed rescuing. The driver was fired from his job and is facing multiple charges. On a lighter note, musical theater fans have something else to be excited about. Fox's Rent Live's cast list has been announced. Jordan Fisher will play Mark Cohen, the main narrator who documents his and his friends' lives in New York City. Vanessa Hudgens is Maureen Johnson. Kiera C. Clemens plays Joanne Jefferson and a lawyer and Maureen's girlfriend. Tanashi will play the role of Mimi Marquez, the dancer who fights a battle with drugs. And these are just a few names of the official cast list. So Rent Live is set to premiere on Saturday, January 27th.
I gotta come out and say it live on TV. Guilty pleasure musicals. I love
Musical
them. What's
theater.
your favorite?
Favorite musical? Probably Wicked would be a favorite one. Yes.
I'm a big fan of Into the Woods.
Into the Woods. It's a great musical.
Love it. All right, thank you, Katie.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Joe, what can we take a last look at weather?
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a mix in the next 7 days. We will see some good weather and a lot of rain, to be honest. So tomorrow, a pretty good day. 66 degrees. Go out and enjoy it. Halloween, 61 degrees, but it will be wet. Right now, though, it looks like your trick-or-treating plans should be okay. I just would say keep the umbrella handy if you're heading out Wednesday evening. Some more rain chances through the end of the week. Mostly cloudy for Saturday. Saturday looks a little cooler, not too bad. And then more rain to start next week. So enjoy tomorrow because there is more rain on the way.
Yeah, can't wait to get some of that spooky on. All right. Thank you, Joe. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to theballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.